Hello and welcome to the College at Mid-America. I'm Dr. Mikey Mewborn, and I'm the Associate Dean of the College at Mid-America, as well as the Campus Life Director. I'm excited today to be with you because I'm going to share with you the syllabus for the course Church Ministry. This is a wonderful course. It's a very practical course for all of us who are in ministry, whether it's marketplace ministry or whether it's full-time Christian service. This class is very helpful. It's very practical, and it'll set you up for success in church ministry in general. And so go ahead and take your syllabus out. Let's get started walking through this. I want you to read through it with me, and I'm going to try to answer some of the questions that you might have. And then, of course, you can always email me with any questions as well. But this is Church Ministry, CE 4552. It's a 3-hour course, fall semester, August 19th through December 9th, 2020. And the class, if it meets residentially, because of COVID-19 protocols and things like that, we may not be meeting residentially. Make sure you email me if you are interested in attending one of our residential classes to make sure that we are meeting on that day. So make sure that you do that. But those are the times that we'll be meeting on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then just a little bit more about me so that you can contact me if needed. Email is mmewborn@mabts.edu. Cell phone is 901-483-1396. You can call or email me for an appointment. Now let's look at the course description. Church Ministry is a practical course created to help students prepare for ministry in the church. It deals with the administration of educational programming, the role of age-graded ministers, issues of leadership, recruitment of church leaders, church-wide evangelism, and discipleship, and other related matters. So, as I said earlier, this course is very practical. It's helpful for anyone who is in ministry, whether you're a volunteer or you're paid on staff. This is a great course for you. Now, the course objectives for us are simple. The course is designed to be highly interactive in the exploration of the dynamics of a variety of ministries within a local church. The student involved in this discovery learning process should be able to, number one, define the purposes of a New Testament church and examine the proper structure of a church. That's going to be a lot of fun because what does the Bible say about church structure or the way you set up a church? Number two, illustrate the biblical requirements for church leadership. Number three, develop a personal philosophy of church ministries based upon biblical and theological concepts. Number four, assess administrative and leadership qualities for the execution of various ministries of the local church. And then, number five, create a discipleship ministry for a specific age group. These are all helpful for us when we're thinking about setting up church ministries or church programs. Instruction for this class will include discussion groups, student presentations, and student participation. The course is highly interactive and necessitates that all participants engage in dialogue with issues and concerns under discussion. And so you're going to have many opportunities through interactive forums, through presenting your ideas that we can all benefit from. So make sure that you know about that. Now, let's jump into the course requirements because this is the big part of what you're looking for probably. Number one, we need you to let us know, or I need you to let me know, that you have read the syllabus in its entirety. All that you need to do, or all that's required of you in this, is to send me an email that you have read the syllabus in its entirety, okay? Now, the syllabus is rather long, but just go ahead and read that, read it all the way through, and then send me that to make sure that I know that you've read the syllabus. Failure to do so is a 3% deduction on the person's final grade or the student's final grade. Required reading. The required reading will come from the following text. Each student must affirm that they have completed all reading requirements by signing and submitting a copy of the reading report page in this syllabus. Now, it's for residential students, of course. They need to submit a copy of that reading report. But also, I need to know from you how much of the reading you have done. And so if you take all the reading, the textbooks, now give me the percentage of what you have done. You can give me the page amounts that you have read, or you can give me a percentage. But I would need to know all that you've read. Hey, my hope is you just read both of the books and we'll be good there, right? But you have Team Leadership, Kenneth Gangle's book, Team Leadership in Church Christian Ministry, and then Robert Welch, Church Administration. Both of these books are wonderful resources for anyone in the ministry. They're very helpful. One of the good things about leadership books and church ministry books is they say a lot of the same things and they just repackage it so it's easier to understand. And I really appreciate that because we're not rewriting the book on leadership. If you really think about it, Jesus Christ has written us, the Lord God has written us the greatest book on leadership, and that's the Bible. And so when we think about this, we're not rewriting that. We're trying to flesh it out in modern times. And so people have done that through the years, and there's some great books out there. These are two of the great ones that we will look at, and you need to read those in their entirety, okay? Now, as we continue on, let's go ahead and go into not class participation and attendance policy, because that's more for our residential students. But let's skip on down to the next page, right? This is page 3. The student should refer to student handbook for the seminary attendance policy. Ultimately, you have 9 absences. Now, you might wonder, how are those absences added up in online? Well, throughout the rest of this syllabus, I'm going to be able to explain to you that the way that I take attendance and participation and all those types of things, the way that I do that is through posting in the interactive forum. If you don't post, you don't get credit for participation or attendance. So you have to do those very things. And so let's get going into what's required more so from you. Exams and quizzes. Each student will complete both a midterm and a final examination. The final exam will not be comprehensive. Woohoo! Quizzes will be given periodically throughout the semester. Check course syllabus for dates, or check course schedule for dates, okay? So you're going to be given exams, and I'll just go ahead and tell you the exams that I give, a lot of times they're multiple choice, true and false, maybe some fill in the blank, short answer type of questions, things like that. It's really simple, and that's quizzes and exams. And so make sure that you know about those things. And then the class project. Now this is important because a lot of times students leave course projects or term papers toward the end of the semester. I would encourage you to not do that. Instead, start working on what you want to write on. Read through the table of contents in your books. Kind of get some ideas. What do I want to write about? Whether it's leadership, church ministry in general. What do I want to do? Go ahead and start outlining that out and start gathering some sources. You're going to need to do that because papers here at Mid-America are a very big part of a person's grade and, of course, a big part of the person's experience or the student's experience. So class project, major deal at Mid-America. The student will write a 10-page, completed pages, double-spaced paper related to the topic from the class. All topics must be cleared by the professor. Just to give you a thought on this, if you're looking for a topic for the class, look in the course schedule. The course schedule has several topics we will cover, but you might want to go ahead and start writing on them. Now, I'm going to teach an area. You don't have to wait till I teach that area. You can go ahead and write or start writing. But I just encourage you, the sooner you get on this project, the easier it will be on you, and you will present a better paper. You will submit a better paper. And that's a very big deal. Okay, now the student will write the research paper to conform to MLA using the MLA Handbook, 8th edition. You must have a minimum of 8 sources. A minimum of half your sources must be books. So you got to use books for this. Do you know how many leadership books are out there? There's a lot of leadership books. There's a lot of church ministry books. And so you're not going to have a problem. You could use all of 8 sources could be books. So that shouldn't be an issue. Or you can use reputable websites. I want you to stay away from the Wikipedias. I want you to stay away from the personal blogs. Give us reputable sources online. You can do that. You may also use credible scholarly journals and websites. Just be careful of other things. As with all papers for this class, use 12-point font, Times New Roman font. The instructor selected bibliography near the end of the syllabus may be a useful guide for formatting your own works cited page. The paper must be original to this course, 10 pages in length, plus a works cited page. The paper will be due on the day indicated in the course schedule. Late papers will be penalized 5 points per day. This paper will be graded using the rubric and the syllabus. This paper is worth 25% of your final grade. All right, so that's a big chunk. If you don't do the paper, you're already at a 75. That's if everything else is an A. Everything else is 100, okay? And that a lot of times is not the case, right? So you need to submit a good paper here. Okay, honor code. Make sure that you're aware of the honor code for us at Mid-America. Of course, this is going to be talking about testing and plagiarism and things like that. Number one, do not cheat on tests. Do not do that. A lot of things that we do through Mid-America, we ask for honor code. We ask that you follow the honor code, and we ask that that you stand by your word with things. But I would go a little bit further in that. And I would say, hey, we're in this because we are believers in the Lord Jesus Christ. We represent Christ, and we need to do that in everything that we do, whether we're in front of people or behind closed doors. We need to represent the Lord God Almighty. So don't plagiarize. If you have questions about plagiarism, please Google that, or you can always email me and I'll give you some thoughts on plagiarism. Don't plagiarize. Give people credit when they have given their own thoughts about something, or they have written about something, or you're quoting someone. Be careful with that, okay? It doesn't go well if someone plagiarizes. Make sure that you know that. And then, of course, with testing, it's so important. You will have a proctor for your exams, your midterm and your final exam. Not for your quizzes, but for your exams, you'll have a proctor that you'll need to secure for that. And so, anyways, they will be there, and they'll be working with the professor to help you take the exam. Okay, let's keep going here. Book review. The student will write a 3 to 5 page book review about the book Church Administration. The student should follow guidelines in this syllabus. All right. Now, this next thing is really important. All right. Posting, because as I said before, attendance, participation, those types of grades, and that type of credit will be given for people that do this. So you don't want to be absent. You want to make sure you get everything in. Students are required to post comments online for each class session for their participation grade. Students must respond to both questions posted by the professor and respond to at least one post by another class member. So it's very simple. The way that this works is I'm going to post a question that goes with the lesson. You will respond to that question, and then when other people respond to the question, you will comment on their posts as well. That's how you get credit. So at least 2 posts per lesson or per session, however you want to put that. There are usually 3 lessons per week, or 3 sessions per week. And so what you'll need to do is post 2 per session, and that'd be a total of about 6. If you look at it that way, 6 postings that you will have to give to get credit for that week. Okay. Now, all of your posts need to be in by Sunday night of that week at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure that they are in there. It's going to be easy to see how you do this. So once you open up a week, you will see the videos posted there for a lesson. All right, it might be lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, whatever. And so you'll click on that lesson. Then you'll go into the interactive forum for that week, and then there will be a lesson number that corresponds with the actual video lesson, and you'll click on that. There will be a question in there. You fill out that, you answer that question, and that's how you get going. All right, it's really simple. One of the things that you need to be made aware of is that all students are required to use Grammarly software for work submitted in class. So if you are handing in a book review, it needs to go through Grammarly. If you don't have a Grammarly account yet, we have already secured one for you in the Campus Life office. And so if you don't have access to that, or you haven't accessed that yet, or you don't know how to get in there, please contact us at campuslife@mabts.edu, okay? But everything that you do, whether it's a book review, whether it's the term paper, class project, whatever, make sure it goes through Grammarly, all right? All right, so that's what's going on there. Late assignments, let me just talk about that just for a moment. all assignments, including reading reports, are expected to be turned in on the indicated due date at the beginning of the class period. And for online folks, it's just due that day. Make sure it gets in that day. Late assignments, talking about papers, book reviews, things like that, will be penalized 5 points per day. So very important. Missed examinations, if you're going to miss an exam for some reason, maybe you're going to be out of the country with a mission trip, something like that, then you need to let me know beforehand, and I will set up a time for you to take the examination. If you miss the exam, you should not miss the exam because it'll be open for a few days and you'll be able to take it within a time period, which is very simple. And I'll just go ahead and share this with you. When you're taking exams online with us at Mid-America, there is an open date for the test, and it'll open on that date at that specific time, whatever it is. Maybe it's 8 o'clock. My tests usually open up at 8 o'clock in the morning on a certain day. Then they will close on another day. So let's say they open it on a Wednesday at 8 a.m. They close on Friday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, so you have that time period to take the exam. Within that, you'll have 2 hours possibly to complete the exam. So once the exam starts, once you start the exam, then you'll have 2 hours to complete it. And then at the end of that 2 hours, it will stop. It will stop you and it'll only give you credit for what you've completed. So the 2 hours or hour and a half or 1 hour should be plenty of time to complete the examination. That should not be an issue whatsoever. And I'm going to give you ample time to do that. But I just want you to know how that plays out. So maybe you can't take exams on a Wednesday, or you can't take them on a Thursday, but you need to take them on that Friday. You need to make sure you get that in. And so there's some flexibility with online work, but once you start it, you have a certain amount of time to complete it. So that's how examinations will work. And for midterm and final examination, you'll need a proctor for that, and they will be there with you through the exam. They will receive a passcode to take the exam. They will have instructions for you with the exam. It's a very simple process, and so I work with the proctor on those types of things. What you'll have to do, though, is you're going to have to send me your proctor's full name and email address, the correct email address. I so often get the wrong email addresses. So send me the correct email address. Or if you want to, you can have them email me, and that way I just have their email address. It's very simple. Okay. Let me talk to you just quickly about class grading. The course is determined as follows. Participation grade is 10%, midterm exam 20%, final exam 20%, paper 25%, assigned reading is 15%, and book review is 10% of your grade. And you have to reach the full percentage point for each grade. So an 89.7 is not rounded up to a 90. It's not that. It's just a B plus, okay? And so it's not an A minus, it's a B plus. So you got to know that. Now you say, well, how does that make sense? Look at the 10-point grading scale that we have. All right. So you can see it there. A plus is 97 to 100. A is 93 to 96. A minus is 90, 92. Anything below a 60, just skipping on down, is an F. All right. So that's our grading scale there, and just simple for you. Course and syllabus modifications. All efforts will be made to follow the syllabus as specified. Being online, that's a lot easier to do than if for some reason you're residential and you had to change things and we had to go into quarantine or whatever. You have to make some modifications to the syllabus, of course, when you do that. But being online, we shouldn't see any modifications to this whatsoever. All right. And then let's just skip on down, if you will, with me to the class schedule. Okay. It's very simple, right? We've got, during the week, it's got a week, and I think goes through 16 weeks on the left-hand side of the syllabus. Then you have the date, or the dates that we're looking at. And then you have the topic of the day. And then you have reading and assignments on the right-hand side. So if you look with me, we've got a lot of different we got a lot of different dates there, and we have different readings, and we have quizzes set up, things like that. And so you got multiple quizzes throughout the semester. Fall break is October 5th through the 9th. Midterm examination is October 1st. And then you have some more quizzes. Book review is due on November 19th. And then Thanksgiving holidays. And then term papers are due on December the 1st. So first day of December, term papers are due. And then reading reports are due on December the 3rd. And then there's a final examination. And what I'll do is I will give you, on these exams, I will give you days to complete them. So it's really simple. So you don't have to worry about all that type of thing, okay? The next part, starting on page 8, is a selected bibliography. It's very simple. It'll give you a lot of different books about leadership and church ministry. And then if you'll skip on down to page 11, I believe it is grading rubric for papers. Make sure that if you're going to do well in this paper, make sure that you are following this criteria. I will be using this to grade your paper, so make sure that you're doing it. All right, very simple. And then online posting rubrics. Let me just say this very quickly about online posting. Do not just post, I agree. Do not just post, yeah, that sounds good. Give us your thoughts. They should be, I don't want to say just loaded questions, but the questions need to be answered in probably 3 sentences or more. Please don't post more than 5 sentences though. So I would say 3 to 5 sentences for a post is a good sweet spot for doing well in your on your posting in the interactive forum. So make sure that you know that. Okay, and then reading report. We need to know how much of or what percentage of the reading that you've done. And then also the syllabus signature page is next thing. And then the book review. I give you a template for the book review. This is important. You need to be able to give me, to identify the book, the thesis, the summary, evaluation, interaction, all those types of things of the book. And that's what we'll need for all those types of things. Lastly, let me talk to you just quickly about your papers and anything that you turn in. Make sure that when you are writing these papers that you not only write them, but you rewrite them. This is the way that you can keep from turning in garbage. You can keep from turning in papers that will get a lower grade. Grammarly is going to help you with your writing, but it's also important for you to learn what this is all about as well. And so I would encourage you to use active verbs when you're writing. Don't use verbs that are passive, such as is, was, were, but use stronger verbs. The boy ran across the street. Well, the word ran is an active voice verb. And so use those types of verbs when you are expressing an idea. That's going to help you a lot when you are writing. Okay, and so I would encourage you with that, and just work hard, get on top of your work, and make sure that everything is turned in on time. Okay, looking forward to this class with you. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.